Welcome back to Metropol Business Center. Now, according to a report by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, the country has a large and burgeoning Jua Kali sector, which generated 83.6% of total employment in 2018 and 33.8% of GDP in 2015. However, since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic in the country early last year, the Jua Kali sector has been presented with both supply and demand shocks. The closure of borders, particularly by Kenya's trading partners in the East African community, as well as in-country travel restrictions, disrupted the informal sector supply chains by constraining production, marketing, and distribution of goods and services. Loss of income through unemployment, fear of contagion, and heightened uncertainty have also made people spend less, thus lowering aggregate demand. Consequently, Jua Kali sector workers and operators have lost employment, income, and consumption. 1 year since COVID-19, and with the country now faced with a third wave, we look at the current state of the Jua Kali sector in the country. And joining me to discuss all this and so much more is none other than the Secretary General of the Kenya National Federation of Jua Kali Nakuru chapter, Assumpta Wangui. Assumpta, thank you very much for making time to join us today.
Thank you, Madam. Good morning, everyone. I am Assumpta, as she has just said, the voice of Jua Kali sector and based in Nakuru. So let us join together as we discuss the challenges that are facing our businesses throughout this period of pandemic.
Brilliant. Now, Assumpta, we were very privileged to have you on the show earlier last year when the country was in the thick of the COVID-19 pandemic. There was so much uncertainty. The job losses were skyrocketing. There was just so much going on in the Jua Kali sector. I mean, 1 year on, here we are faced with a third wave. If you were just to paint for us a general picture of what the sector looks like right now, what would you tell us?
The sector is pathetic. In fact, we are facing a lot of difficulties because in the first and the second wave, we thought that it shall be gone and the businesses will catch up again. But now it's like the businesses are dying, absolutely dying, because many have closed, many are at home. They only have even the money for their upkeep. So let me say, even the economy itself is dying. So we are really worried because we had a lot of hope that because the pandemic, it was going down. Now that it has started rising once again, the sector, actually many people are really confused. They don't know where to run to. They don't know what to do now because when you close when the business went down, now the lockdown is making now the businesses to be absolutely, completely closed. It means these people are really struggling. Others are sleeping without food. Others cannot even commute. So I'm saying the sector is like 100% affected. We are wondering now, what do we do? What's the next step? And I want to say that there is this program that came up with the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and in collaboration with the Jua Kali sector. They were giving the members some little money to start again after the first wave of the pandemic. They were giving us 30,000 per person, but they could not even give everyone because they were taking care of all the Jua Kali people, all the micro and small entrepreneurs in the whole country. So some of the members did not even get that money. So they are still waiting, anxiously waiting for someone who can at least give them some money to come back to the business. Now even we are wondering, how will they be able to refund the 30,000 that they were given by that organization, the MasterCard, through the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce? So I'm saying that we are absolutely affected, and we are calling upon the government because, as you all know, the Jua Kali sector or the informal sector is the one that drives the economy. We are calling upon now the government, the NGOs, to at least try and come chip in to uplift these businesses. Otherwise, I don't know how the country is going to look like without the small businesses, because even these small businesses, they are the best payers of the revenue. And if they will not be able to do their businesses and pay the little that they pay to the government as revenue, then it means even the country itself shall suffer. It means the whole country will feel the impact. So that's what I can say about the sector. But the point I would want to drive home to our very able government to look for ways and means to make sure that this sector goes back to normal, and at least, if not back to normal, at least they try and uplift them. Let them give them some money to bring up the businesses back, at least for these guys to get something to eat. And I cannot say the government to give these people food, but I would advocate the government to empower them, to give them some money, because if they give them some money, they will be able to get food daily. If they come with a program of saying that we give them food, till when? So that is the situation with the sector, and they are really crying. They are making phone calls. Those did not get that first wave pandemic support from the Kenya chambers. They are still asking, where are we? Is there still hope? I wish we could get donors. I wish we could get well-wishers to uplift these people. They are good people. They will pay back their money. Yeah. Back to you.
Assumpta, thank you very much for painting the picture of what's going on ground, and I feel like it's really, really sad because that's because of the current state of affairs. Considering, like you've said, the Jua Kali sector is really the engine of the economy, and the figures themselves have shown it. I mean, with an 83.6% contribution to employment in 2018, 33.8% to GDP. Obviously, that cannot be underscored. So if we're talking about a sector that's in a worse position than it was even last year, and we saw recently, again, with the president issuing new directives where, the 5 zones were closed off, movement has been restricted, that has further been extended again. Yesterday, there was a statement that was released to another extra 2 months. Assumpta, would you say the new measures that have been put in place have also contributed to just making the situation worse? And what sort of impact have the new measures that have been put in place, including the closing off of the 5 areas, contributed further to the situation of the Jua Kali Association, if at all?
Let me say that if I were the one, or if I was consulted as a leader of the sector, I would have said that was not the best way to do it. Because when you put such measures, it means you have locked the economy completely. It means that you have locked these people, and these people will not allow themselves to be grounded. They will look away. They will look all ways and means to come out. One, they will be problematic to the authorities, because they will be trying to come out and look for a solution, or maybe for a way to give them at least a bread. So when you lock them down, you have not facilitated, you have not told them till when, you have not told them this is the other way that to give you, to make you leave. Because when you say curfew, from 8 p.m. to 4 p.m., that means that small and micro entrepreneur will close half of his business at around 4, because now even the matatus, for those who are commuting as from a far distance, they must close early so that they can be able to catch up with the marks, and that so that they are not being caught up by the curfew hour. That means the working hours it has been reduced. And remember, the businesses have gone down already. That means you are suppressing the businesses once again. So I would say that I would advocate that they could have given vaccines to the needy. As you can see, the vaccines, the priority is not those people, those low-cost people, ama the sector itself. So I would say they could have given them vaccine as first priority. They could have also continued informing them about the measures to fight this virus, such as the masks, enhance, to try to remind them many times as possible, and then people will take care of themselves. I think closing or putting barriers in the 5 counties, I would say that it is encouraging our policemen, opening a leeway for our policemen to enrich themselves, still trying to kill the common person, because these people will try to go where they want. And because the barriers are there, they will use the little money they have to bribe our policemen to go to the other destination. That means before the government puts such measures, they should look into the ways how to manage, because absolutely they are not able to manage the barriers. That means every measure they have taken, it is suppressing the common person and enriching other people and killing absolutely economy of this country. So there are so many ways, there are so many means and ways they have used to fight this pandemic, because no one is interested, no one wants to die. Everybody is afraid. Everybody would want to see him, herself living to the fulfillment of his or her life. So let me say, people are not ignorant, as the government is putting it. People are very careful. They could only have told them, this is the way to go. We have seen people wearing masks. We have seen parents but making sure that their children are going to school with masks and observing all the conditions. Then I don't see why. I mean, this is too harsh to the business people. This is too harsh to the common man. But the best part of it is that this virus is not a respecter of persons. You know, it is getting to the rich people, it's getting to the common man, but the government is assuming. Another thing I would want to say is that when you close like the churches, I think the numbers in the marketplaces is larger than the numbers in the churches. The churches are able to manage, but in the market, so I'm still insisting that let these people get vaccine. Let the government come up with a better way of giving these vaccines, because the vaccine is not, I think it is not meant for the Jua Kali sector. I have not seen anybody thinking about the sector. It's like the sector is just there. I even don't understand why they say that this sector drives the economy of this country. They don't care about them. They are not bothered. In fact, they kill them each day. So we are suffering in the sector, and we talk about it each and every day, but no one is bothered.
Now, Assumpta, with that said, and you rightly talked about the fact that earlier on there were some initiatives that were put in place by the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce where they're trying to help out the Jua Kali sector, although we still didn't see that trickle down directly to the people the way it was intended to, so still it didn't solve the problem on the ground. So when we talk about policies, surrounding the Jua Kali sector, particularly right now, that nothing is working normal. We have seen the sort of impact the pandemic has had on everything. What would you say about the policies that are in place? Are they favorable? Have they been modified to the prevailing circumstances? What would you say about that and what needs to be done?
They are not working. They are not working. Let me say whoever people are responsible for this sector just speak things that they are never implemented. Let me say, when this pandemic came first, they said that they have set aside some funds that will be given to the sector so that they can be able to sustain their businesses. Actually, we were told to go and train. We trained with the Equity Bank, and nothing has come across. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Nobody from this sector can stand and say we benefited from this. In fact, they said that we should make masks, we should make beds, we should make desks for the schools, but we never saw it landing to the right people. So I mean, the policies that are put in place, I would say, I would rate them like absolutely zero.
Wow.
It is not meant for the sector. They have not helped us. And I want to commend the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce for what they have done. They have really tried. I think this sector has large numbers, and actually even giving like 100 people or 200 people in Nakuru chapter, everybody 30,000. That is that's a great deal. I wish our country, you see, this money is not from our country, is from somewhere else. What is our country doing to the sector? So the policies, the measures they have put, actually, I think they are not meant for us.
So, Assumpta, now even as we wrap up, we know obviously a lot still needs to be done to help the Jua Kali sector. We're not where we need to be. The people are struggling, if not even in a worse place. As we wrap up in 2 minutes, what would you say then the future looks like for the Jua Kali sector? And by the future, I'm talking about even this year, next year. If nothing is done, what does the future look like for the Jua Kali sector in this country as we wrap up?
Well, if they don't take the good measures, then the sector will be dead. The sector will be dead in this manner. If the business of that small and micro entrepreneur dies, then it means that person will not be able to come back to the business again. It means there will be a lot of challenges in the country. There will be a lot of challenges in our economy. Even the country itself will not be able to sustain many programs that are there. So unless they change their strategies of doing things, unless they come up with a program to make sure that these businesses, these small businesses, are still running, however critical the condition is, they should ensure that they have been able to maintain these small businesses so that the country may be able to sustain even that.
That was Assumpta. Sorry, I think I might have lost her. But that was Assumpta Wangui, the Secretary General, Kenya National Federation of Jua Kali Association, Nakuru chapter, talking to us about the current state of the Jua Kali sector. And as you've heard for yourself, the picture doesn't seem too great. The sector has been crippled by the COVID-19 pandemic, and the third wave has not made things any better. Unfortunately, that's all we had for you today on Metropol Business Center. Thank you so much for making time to watch us today. But don't go anywhere because we have so much more amazing programming coming your way. And remember, you can also be part of the conversation on all our shows by going to our social media handles at Metropol TV KE on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Bye.